All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for our third and final match of the day. In today's triple header, it's Faze playing their second game, pretty late for many of their European players. Currently 0-1. They actually lost their first match to LG Loyal. Bit of an upset there. And now they will face the Dark Horses, and you guys get paid. Clearly, still looking for a sponsor. I'm LD. I am joined here by none other than Jamerson. How you doing, Jamerson?
Doing well. Really excited for this last match. I haven't actually been able to catch up on the VODs to see how well you guys got paid, or you guys get paid, performed during the qualifiers, but I had heard they had upset Fnatic during them. So really excited to see what they have in store for us.
All right, teams are already entering the field of battle. It will be Gibraltar, our first time getting to see the map today to open things up. And it looks like a dive comp potentially to get our offense started, though. Of course, that certainly could change. Triple tank, meanwhile, on the defense.
Yeah, Psycho probably just going to swap on off if he does get a Sonic Arrow on the way to the high ground there on the Sky Bridge. But taking a look at the defense, pretty standard coming up from Faze. This is basically what they were running for the large majority of their matchup against LG Loyal. That triple tank setup, Shadowburn on the Zarya, Fact Fiction, of course, on the Reinhardt, Mikey A on the Roadhog. Now,
so where is the Shadowburn Genji? Are we going to see it? They just do not seem to run it right now.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of teams have figured out how to deal with Shadowburn's Genji. He's not feeling as comfortable on it, but hey, we'll see. You know, he was largely outclassed, I guess, by Spree in that LG matchup, and so he might have improved. It just looked completely different because, well, it's Spree on Zarya. What can you do?
It's interesting, too, because dive comp has proven to be very effective for some teams, which obviously is where a Genji could fit in, but at least for now, it doesn't seem like FaZe want to run that type of lineup, and so I guess the Genji doesn't fit in. For now, a fairly defensive position here, as they are getting flanked pretty well. Rinovic's already into the back line, searching for that Ana, down on the low ground. This cart moving freely, though, and the kills are going the way if you guys get paid. Moffat, Space combining, that's 3 down, defense crumbling to this split push, very spread out style of offense.
Yeah, they had the perfect composition basically to try and deal with that Soldier 76 Zoms and Rockets on the high ground. Unfortunately, when you have 3 divers, you're not going to be able to hold on to it, and so they immediately focused them down, made sure they had to jump off. They were able to get onto the tanks in the back. Mikey A is going to go ahead and eat that pulse when he had the Zarya Bear to keep him alive, but that's a quick point A, or excuse me, first checkpoint coming out from you guys get paid.
And what's worse is they all start dying right as the payload actually hits the checkpoint, so they're not going to have great spawns here. Zoms has to sprint back. Shadowburn ended up going down quite late. Big stagger coming out for this defense, which could spell a very quick push all the way through to point number 3. Rinovic's now in great position on the high ground. They've already got a space shuttle more or less secured. Even the Zenyatta able to push quite far up Mr. Squishy with the Transcendence available. So, will the defense hold? They do have a Zoms aimbot to work with, but that's basically it, and already he's getting dove by the Genji.
Yeah, he did have to back away because he was brought down low and he was anti-healed there, but here comes a Transcendence from Mr. Squishy. Nice Earth Shatter coming out from Fact Fiction. Is going to shut down the majority of it, but still the kills are coming through. Fact Fiction finally answering on back, and there we go. Finally, FaZe are going to be able to establish a defense here, but Beast Halo getting the kill onto Rockets there in the back line.
Yeah, Beast Halo completely shutting Zoms down, just battering him as the Winston, but the team wasn't really able to take advantage. So now, Shadowburn should have a Graviton for the next fight. Earthshatter still a ways off, or I should say a secondary Earthshatter, but Factor Fiction already on fire, may get it very soon. So, potentially a Diva Bomb to combine with this grab, or at least a Ryan swinging this hammer. Not the easiest thing to land a big grab, though, against such a mobile lineup. We'll really have to keep our eyes on Shadowburn to see if he finds that opening.
Yeah, Rena already making his way into the back line. He's got Beast Halo there to supplement the damage. They are trying to get onto Rockets. He did have that barrier to keep him alive, but not for long. Rena starting to get the resets. We do have the sound barrier coming out. Fact Fiction finally answering on back, and there we go. The Graviton will give them the man advantage as they push forward. Rena, unfortunately, does fall to the deflect there. That's, you don't get to see that often, a Genji dying to deflecting a rocket.
No, definitely not a common way to go down. Moppet, oh, that's a painful stagger. Shadowburn with the long range shot, able to snipe him on the retreat. And that will quite a bit into what was a very substantial tiebreak. Such a quick push into the space shuttle phase, but a much slower showing here as they try to move through to the second checkpoint. They'll reset. They close it on some fairly important offensive ultimates. Pulse Bomb available. Lots of good, beefy targets to stick. Who's it going to be? Shadowburn still with the self-shield ready. A lot of energy to work with. He's hanging on for the time being. Not able to find a pickoff just yet. Moffat in danger is going to end up going down. Zombs isolates him, picks him off. Now the team can reset. Nobody actually standing on the cart. If they don't find these kills, they're not going to get any free movement against so many tanks.
They do have 6 ultimates though. 6 versus 4 in this next engagement. Zombs has been holding on to the high ground fairly well here. Beast Halo on that Winston. Try to jump up on the last engagement, but here we go. Sound Barrier coming out immediately. Reyna pushes forward. He's got that Dragon Blade. Now Zombs is going to go ahead and use that Tactical Visor though, but immediately gets cleaned up. And here come the resets as Reyna picks up 2. Shadowburn does answer what the kill onto Moffat, but it's not going to be enough as Beast Halo comes in. He starts beasting with that Primal Rage, gets put to sleep. Now Payload pushing forward. We do have that self-destruct coming out, but it's just stall tactics coming out from Mikey A, who does get cleaned up by Reyna.
Zombs didn't actually have the aimbot. He tactical visor and died immediately, but he's able to hold here thanks to the Anti Boost. An excellent Earth Shatter. Vector Fiction showing up big, 0.53 meters away, and they hold. Really rough spot now for the offense, who probably have 2 pushes left, maybe 3 if they're quick. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, that's the second time that Fact Fiction has come in with a huge Earth Shatter, catching them really unawares. You know, there's no Reinhardt on the opposite end. It's all down to Beast Halo trying to get a really good barrier off to try and block it, but unfortunately, Fact Fiction just finding a great timing here. Now they're going to go ahead and jump up on the high ground to make sure that Zombs can't hold it. So now he's on the low ground as Space, Beast Halo, and Reyna are just controlling it, forcing Mikey A even off the ship.
So eyes on Moffat. Has the Pulse Bomb. He tries to chase down Shadowburn here. Already committing the Particle Barrier, and with that might be focused. No, good Lucio ult is going to keep him alive. Maybe for round 2. The grab is so close, 100%. Now he's got it. Grab, hanging onto it patiently. Doesn't want it to get eaten by that D.Va, and he hangs on to it for too long. Ends up going down. Shadowburn never got it off. Aimbot is available though, and Zombs will hold. They're finding the pickoffs despite not having the grab. Aimbot committed, and onto Space. He'll go, but he gets battered by Beast Halo, smacking him away from the payload. They only have 4 meters to go. It's just a couple of seconds uncontested on the payload, and they'll be there. But I don't know if they get there in time. Vector Fiction, again ready with the Earth Shatter. Coming back into the fray is Shadowburn, who still has a grab. The D.Va Bomb's coming soon. Not using that grab just yet, being very patient. Now lets it go directly on top of the cart. Space, not long for this world. He'll be going down. 13 seconds to go. Very staggered offense getting punished.
Oh man, what a great hold coming out from Faze so far. There was 5 minutes on the clock when they got the first checkpoint. You guys get paid. Unfortunately now, Fact Fiction coming with some huge heroics, and they're not going to be able to get on to the point. They stop it just before the second checkpoint.
Well, Jamerson, that was about like one of the quickest point A's that you'll see on this map, and then a very slow and ultimately ineffective shuttle phase for you guys get paid. It looked like they were just going to roll over a struggling Faze lineup, but Faze coming through in the clutch. Not a guaranteed win by any means, but they're definitely in good shape heading into their attack phase on Gibraltar.
Yeah, the nice thing about the shuttle phase here is that when Zombs takes the high ground, he has a lot more space to work with to try and kite away. Initially, when they were trying to hold on to that first checkpoint, he just got cornered off and got taken out immediately. But as you can see in the shuttle portion, there's so much ground. He was able to kite away from Beast Halo, who's consistently trying to jump on top with Reyna in tow. And so he just stayed alive for the most part and got free damage off. And then, of course, Fact Fiction coming up with 2, 3 great Earth Shatters there. Now, it is going to be Faze on the attacking side.
So looking at the changes made there by the offense, only real change we saw was Space switching, I think it was Space over onto the D.Va. Do you feel like they should have made a more complete swap up, or was that just more down to execution in the end?
It was down to execution once again. When you do run these dive compositions, it's just down to the defense of just counting your cooldowns. If they see that you use your shift and your jumps to get up there, they just run away, and now the gap closer is gone. They have to wait another 7 to 8 seconds to try and re-engage upon you. And so just baiting out these cooldowns, that's what Zombs was doing the entirety of the shuttle phase.
All right, let's see if they can push it through to the second checkpoint. It will be Faze taking the opening map here. Coming in, definitely looked like at least the second strongest team in the group. or at least the most proven out of the other teams after Rogue, but not off to the greatest start here. They could salvage things in their group stage with a strong showing on Gibraltar. Best of 3 series. As we move out, Factor Fiction already getting basically spawn camp here. Very aggressive showing as Moffitt on top of the cart, trying to find pickoffs. Mikey A getting forced back. He's purple. He's not quite dead. Zombs is going to end up picking off Rena, and with that, they may have to reset. They're in danger of losing Beast Halo. He is the bulwark of this aggressive defense, and now things start to crumble. That's 4 heroes down. Everybody's going to have to reset. But the good news is Jamerson, they'll get at least one more fight because of how aggressive that defense was.
Yeah, that's the point of, that spawn camping mentality. If you lose the fight, well, you're definitely going to have at least a second one, possibly a third. But at this point, it was all down to execution on the side of you guys get paid. They weren't able to actually dive onto the same characters. They were all kind of just all over the place. As we do see right now, it's finally Moffitt and Rena just going to go ahead and focus down Mikey A. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, though. The sticky does come out. It's not going to be able to finish him off quite yet. And there we go. Zombs coming in, starting to clean up, takes out Psycho Waffle, and now it looks like the offense in great shape. Zombs getting challenged on the high ground by Rena, but he will be able to finish him off with that Helix rocket.
Wins the duel, still has a tactical visor, and is going to scout out Space, who has secured a visor of his own in a good high ground position, but not the easiest soldier game. Very little to protect him up here. No support ultimates, no big diva or anything like that, but nobody contesting him at the same time. Zombs is just going to wait it out. Beast Halo trying to punish low HP heroes, doesn't find the kills. Now the Earth Shatter. Factor Fiction unloading, swinging that hammer, will bring down the Winston, and with that, Cart going to be actually pushing through. They will have to reset.
Yeah, Factor Fiction just having no problem whatsoever using that Earth Shatter to shut down a Genji Blade. So great job coming out from him, knowing where the huge threats are, just shutting it down immediately, making sure that they can't walk away with any kind of free defense here. Now, they've got 4 minutes and 27 seconds left on the clock in their time bank. I believe you guys get paid had about 5:15 or something along those lines. Now, we do have the Nano Boost going on to Zombs, and he's pushing forward, finds that first kill with the tactical visor onto Mr. Squishy, but everyone else on the side of you guys get paid are just going to be able to kite away from that.
Beast Halo, primal range active, and needs to make the most of it, trying to find the Ana, jumps on her, but does end up getting slept. That's unfortunate. Meanwhile, Shadowburn popping off. He finds 2 kills. This payload gonna continue moving forward. It's almost actually there. They're gonna have to rush to get back onto it. Mr. Squishy has an Ana boost available. I guess we'll give it to Rena. Not exactly sure. Beast Halo, not quite there yet, so they can't give it to the ideal target. It would be the Winston. In fact, it's Moffitt who gets the Nano boost. Can be a real problem to take this Tracer down, but at the same time, someone's got to stand on the payload, getting battered back out of position. For now, Beast Halo able to secure the payload. Will they find the kills, though? If they don't get a couple soon, they're going to eat the hammer. Factor Fiction drops it, and he finds a big one. That's 4 heroes down. Point secured. Map secured. 1-0 lead now in the best of 3 for Faze.
3:25 was left in their time bank by the time they completed out that map. And even though there wasn't as many tools on the side of Faze to try and deal with Space, who was on that high ground, he went largely ineffective on that Soldier 76. Shadowburn on that Zarya was actually doing a really good job of finding the squishies and focusing them down. As I say that, I just realized there is a Mr. Squishy on the other end, but it also came down to just Fact Fiction. He just knew who the threats were, so he wasn't holding on for like a huge shatter on that offensive. He saw that, hey, the Genji was coming in, I'm just gonna go ahead and shut him down with the shatter, and then from there they just carried on the momentum to the shuttle phase, and yeah, Faze looking like they've regained their composure after that loss to LG Loyal, and they're right back into this game.
Yeah, sometimes, having that game off gives you a chance to reset mentally, not get tilted and have to go into your second match off kilter. So, map pool for today is Ilios, Dorado, Kings Row, and Eichenwald as the 4 remaining options. It'll be you guys get paid who get to choose here. So, 1 control point map, 1 hybrid, 2 hybrids, and then, of course, 1 full payload map in the form of Dorado to select from. Let's see what they want to choose.
Yeah, one of the things to note on the side of you guys get paid is that also it looks like 2 of their members, not their usual members. No, Rena does play with them often. I think Beast Halo is filling in for Harry Butcher at this point, or possibly Silk Thread. But yeah, they're not playing with their full roster. Despite that, they looked pretty good on their offense until they faltered in that hangar portion. So we are going to Ilios for our second map of the day. Faze already played this out. They did fall, I believe, to LG Loyal earlier on. And so we'll see if they are feeling as comfortable. I mean, we saw Shadowburn on that Pharmacy combo, not looking the greatest, but of course he was facing off against Ube there.
Yeah, so it's going to be Ilios. And I wonder, do we see that dive comp again from You Guys Get Paid? Do you happen to know if they always favored dive, or do they mix it up a bit as far as their composition goes?
Honestly, I'm very far behind on VODs. I have a lot more research to do. Been busy with other games and other game modes over here for Overwatch. I was doing the 3v3s and 1v1s, and I was seeing, actually, I believe Moffat and Rena were playing in the 3v3s, but I fully expect to dive. I mean, they were doing really good, focusing down the same targets. Unfortunately, once it came down to their defense, it did seem a little bit more staggered. But here on a map where you get to control the initiative more and where you take the team fights, or when you take the team fights, I think they can really pull out a win up against FaZe Clan.
What is the 3v3 meta? Actually, I haven't gotten a chance to... Is there a meta? Is it just all over the place? How does it work exactly? I'm just curious.
The format that we ran for the 3v3s was that once you used a hero, even if you lost with it, it was just out of your pool. So you can only use a Roadhog once. So we wouldn't be seeing consistently like a Reinhardt on a soldier. We were seeing different compositions coming out, people trying to run Zarya, Reaper, and Lucio as just the full-on aggression, just jump right into you and kill you. There was also the Ana Zarya Winston, which predicated basically upon building up the Ana ultimate and then just popping it onto Winston and then just letting him have free reign in the back line and just cleaning up. There was a lot of different compositions that were getting sussed out and really fleshed out by our competitors, and I would like to hold another 3v3 soon, as it looks like we are getting into the match, guys.
All right, so game two. Oops, I got my score backwards here as the teams did swap between blue and red. So yeah, it's FaZe leading 1-0. You know, I would be interested to see if like developments from 3v3 eventually like kind of carried over to 6v6. Probably not something that'll happen just because it's such a different dynamic, but could be interesting to see if the different modes like feed off of each other in the future. So anyway, guys, we're 6v6 here. This is standard vanilla Overwatch, but hopefully it'll be some spicy action. Shadowbird showing Pharah again. Kind of mixed results, some good direct hits, but the overall like outcome of the matches not the best. So we'll have to see if the team can play better around the Pharah, but it didn't seem very comfy for them last time.
We have to remember Shadowburn playing on about 200 ping there. It becomes very difficult to try and land direct rockets. But on the side of You Guys Get Paid, it looks like they just want to try and shut him down from the ground as they are hovering over a double hit scan DPS. Moffat picking up the Soldier 70, excuse me, Moffat picking up the McCree and Rena picking up the Soldier 76 there.
All right, so double hit scan with a Zen and a D.Va. Not the dream game for a Pharah by any means. Let's see if they can punish. Shadowburn definitely gonna have his work cut out for him, as he will show himself. He immediately takes his N-Orb, he sees the D.Va, he's already not particularly pleased. And they sit behind a Rhine shield, but he goes for the boop for the Pharah. Not gonna quite connect, they all jump down to the point together. What an organized move forward, but still Shadowburn threads the needle, finds an opening. That's 2 quick kills. Spectre Fiction was there to answer with an immediate Winston dive, and now able to bring down Rena. It looked really clean and organized, but the end result was messy.
Yeah, here, Factor Fiction is the crux of this composition up against what You Guys Get Paid are running. Sure, they have the double hit scan, but once the Winston jumps in with that barrier, it's very difficult to try and burst it down with the composition that they're running right now. They don't have like a Roadhog who can just dish out 200-300 damage at it, and now they're just going full 6-man push on in. No one gets booped. As I say that, though, it's going to be Zombs with the shift kill onto Beast Halo there, and immediately they reset. Rena jumps to his death, too. Actually gets cleaned up by Zombs, giving away just a little bit more ultimate charge.
So, coming into the next fight, Self-Destruct, Primal Rage, Rocket Barrage. I mean, hell, probably a Pulse Bomb because it's quite easy to charge, generally speaking, and you've already got a Resurrect to boot. So, they say, screw that outer ridge. We're going to go for the interior path, where it's a little bit harder to get booped or to get punished near the boundaries of the map, but it takes a lot longer to get there. They're not actually really moving towards the point right now. Shadowburn could just kind of hide and force the enemy team to commit. They are going to dive him. They throw the D.Va deep behind enemy lines, and now Factor Fiction engaging with Primal Rage, wants to knock the Rhine off the map. Now diving onto Moffett, is even going to steal the pack from him, continues to beat the Cowboy down, will find the kill in the end. Meanwhile, Rina going to work, or trying to anyway, with the aimbot, will kill off Raucus very importantly, so no resurrection for this fight. They might have a shot.
Yeah, definitely, as Rina does find a second kill, but there is the follow-up coming out from Shadowburn and Zoms, finishing off space there. They're going to hold on to this point as Psycho Waffle does just go ahead and go for the reset, and right now already 81% on the board. They've got 3 ultimates almost online on the side of you guys get paid, but the resurrect, it should be huge for Raucus.
Mikey A looking to put a nail in the coffin on our opening map as he sweeps around from behind, goes for the pulse bomb, and the Jinx is strong. He's going to end up going down. Beast Halo onto the point now as the Reinhardt has an Earth Shatter available. They'll get the Factor Fiction kill too. Moffett connecting with the Deadeye, it looks like. All right, with that, they will look to take the point, but they're not going to do it for free. There will be a contest coming back onto the point. Still the Earth Shatter ready, saving ultimates. They'll get the kill on Baby D.Va. Down she goes. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to recap at all in the end. In fact, could get pretty heavily staggered. As I say that, oh yeah, Rina going to get some more kills. So Shadowburn eventually staggered, brought down, and things looking pretty good for you guys to get paid to at least make this map competitive.
Yeah, I was really surprised that Raucus committed to that resurrect there. It was already a lost team fight, and they weren't able to even pick up Mikey A on that on the resurrect. And now we do have you guys get paid in a really great position. 37% on the board already. They have a Transcendent, Self-Destruct, Earth Shatter, and another tactical visor to use. I feel like they should have just held on to that res, gone for a dry push, try to get some of these ultimates out, and then go in after maybe 1 or 2 team fights. But now here they go. Tactical visor is going to come out from Rina. We do have the sound barrier on the side of Faze, but the Transcendence is going to keep the majority of you guys get paid alive. Zoms is trying to find a kill, but the Deadeye connects onto 2. Zoms only gets 1 as Raucus is going to fall. He was only 14% away from his res. That's a huge pickoff coming up from Psycho Waffle.
Yeah, may end up saving the day. They did not look good there. Rina getting caught by the D.Va Self-Destruct. Had quite a bit of time to run from it, but couldn't find the right angle to hide. Almost getting punished, but now they're up to 75%. They are holding their ground, at least for now. Mikey A gonna have to reset with the team. Shadowburn, after a hot start, has slowed down quite a bit. He's gonna sweep in from behind the point, start to contest, drag them back. Self-Destruct available. Would love to get this D.Va out of her pesky mech. We'll get a few direct hits on space, but now sweeping around back into the point, still chipping away at the Reinhardt, constantly a nuisance. Can come in from above and potentially unleash a rocket barrage. Not doing it yet, but the threat is definitely there.
Zoms is forced out of his mech though, but here we go. We've got the rocket barrage coming in. He only gets the kill onto Beast Halo, and things going largely in favor of you guys get paid as Space gets that kill onto Zoms.
Well, they did get the res off, but I don't know if it's enough here with that Space ultimate. Gonna be a tough fight. Shadowburn needs to hit some rockets. Looking for the Lucio, gets punched once. Now the aimbot. That could put an end to things. No, actually, not just yet. He gets back on the point, but they do end up securing. Looks like Raucus not able to step back in time.
Score 1-0.
You guys get paid. Starting off a little bit on the back foot there. Having difficulty dealing with Shadowburn for the most part. Well, once they were able to fight onto the point, unfortunately, Raucus wasn't able to get the clutch resurrections they needed. It was a little mistiming, I would say. And now they are going to go ahead and take the first point as we move on to Ruins. And it looks like Rina fancying his chances with that Widowmaker. Here comes the purple lady.
So you guys get paid. Definitely bouncing back in. I mean, we have seen a lot of big Widow play, particularly on Ruins as a stage. So eyes on Rina to see if he can keep that trend going. Zoms, though, is going to potentially be the answer. He, too, will be playing Widowmaker to start things off.
All right. Zoms having mixed results earlier on with that Widowmaker facing off against Oba earlier, but now he's facing off against Rina. No one landing shots quite yet, as we're still waiting for that opening frag. Space did drop low, but he does get healed up along with Fact Fiction. Now it looks like it's you guys got paid. You guys get paid who want to be the aggressors here.
Yeah, neither neither Widow finding a pick. And right as I say that, Zoms will draw first blood. Gets Mr. Squishy immediately onto Psycho Waffle. And now his team should be able to push, which means free shots. upon free shots. They're even going to jump towards, and indeed will kill off Rina. Also, already secured a recon visor, but unfortunately, his team did not take the point.
Yeah, and so we're immediately seeing the swap off coming out from Rina. He's going to go ahead and pick up that Soldier 76 once again. This is basically the composition they were running, except Beast Halo was on the Winston before. Now he's swapped off to Reinhardt.
All right, they're pushing back in. I mean, that just shows you he did not feel like the Widow was working. Had the recon visor, so screw it. Onto the point they go. Beast Halo's there, trying and threatening the squad to come in. But Zombs now, with the recon visor, can he find pickoffs? Looking for the Zen, doesn't quite have the line of sight he needs. Still the team finding pickoffs, but they will lose Forsaken here. Rina battling back. Not seeing so much out of this Widow on round number 2, but Shadowburn still finding kills. He's closing in on a barrage. Could be making big plays momentarily. The Resurrection committed by Raucus, looking to give them the power play as they push onto the point. Finds the rocket as Ryan drops the shield, looks to charge. He punishes, demeching space, and now just the snowball effect of a Pharah can begin to take over.
And Zombs, just no pressure on him in the back line, easily catching the respawners as they try to resupply onto this point. And Shadowburn, once again, despite the double hit scan DPS coming out, he's just getting 3 damage. He's just jumping right on top of them. So no one quite shutting him down yet.
We'll see if that changes, though. Zombs could be the X factor to deal with those landlocked heroes. So far, not finding the headshots, but Shadowburn staying back, launching in the rockets. Now they're going to look to go. Beast Halo is going to drop the hammer, but getting over the top and behind a Shadowburn. He's got a good angle here. Can come in potentially for the rocket barrage, but has to be careful because Rina has found him. Shadowburn gets 2, brings down the support, also killing off Moffat in turn. Rina answering back, getting the Factor Fiction kill. They really want to stagger Shadowburn. Diving onto him. Can they find the kill, though? He's gotten quite far back. Looks like should probably make it to safety. Team has rejoined him. They are resetting, and now Roadhog coming out. Mikey A with the whole hog. Will he find an opening?
And that last team fight, Raucus was so close to the resurrection, but he was the second one to go down in that team fight. I believe he had about 96, 95% ultimate charge. It was so crucial for them to get that before they can get that team fight reset. And now Fact Fiction is going to jump forward as they do use sound barriers on both sides. Here comes the Deadeye on the side of you guys get paid. Moffat, is he going to be able to line anything up? It's going to be Mikey A getting the kill on Serena, though.
Didn't quite connect on the Deadeye. Mikey A getting drilled, dealt with, brought down. On the point, Beast Halo swinging that big old hammer, but now he's got to do it the res. He does have an Earth Shatter. Oh, he's not going to get it off. Wolf almost certainly would have lost the fight anyway. I think 2, maybe 3 heroes there, but one of them, a Lucio. So they're not going to bother. And with that, time ticking low. It's going to be 80 to 90% before they even think about touching the point again. So one good push from you guys get paid. Should they drop this, it'll be 1-1. Don't apologize just yet, Beast Halo. You still have a chance to hit this ult.
It's going to come down to this Earth Shatter, but already things looking bad as Mikey A gets that kill on Serena. And now the the recon visor coming out from Zombs gives them all the information they need. Beast Halo lends it onto 2, but there's no follow-up. They're getting cleaned up. And Faze looking to just tie this up 1-1 here on Ilios as overtime ticks down.
1-1 the score indeed. And hey, Zombs stayed on Widow the whole time and did a lot of work to swap off of Widow. Not so effective. That map has just been kind of Widowmakers in general.
Yeah, there was no one really to deal with him. It would have been Space's job at that point on the D.Va to try and get in the back line, but he was actually more relegated to Factor Fiction duty, who was doing an amazing job on that Winston, just pulling all the attention towards that back line instead.
All right, so sticking with the double hit scan, Moffat loving the McCree, and Rina still on the Soldier. But again, we are going to see the Shadowburn Pharah, and hey, it seems to be getting a little more effective as the day wears on. Able to get those early chip shots in, trying for some free ultimate percentage. Will he find a Jake-esque boop into the well? That remains to be seen as Rina's going to go down first. Trying for it, doesn't quite get the angle, but does get the high ground position. Able to zone that McCree, keep him trapped indoors as long as possible. Not easy to hit a Pharah at these angles. So many nooks and crannies to hide behind. They will get out onto the point. They have DMAX the Diva, so now is a great time to try and force the issue. But from behind, coming in is Mikey A. Will bring one low. Shadowburn still with the heavy artillery from above. Looking for the Rhine, going for the boop. Again, not quite able to connect. Pulse Bomb is available. They'll kill the Rhine mid-charge. Then the stick, straight onto space, pulling up the defense matrix a bit late, but isn't able to get the finish. So with that, you guys get paid. They'll cap.
Yeah, and so the Pharah not as effective. Once again, they do have that double hit scan. Shadowburn not able to get the free rockets off like he was used to in the first 2 maps there. But they are going to try and push forward. No real changes coming out on the side of either teams. As actually Mikey A playing the Tracer this time instead of the Roadhog. And so he hasn't been as effective quite yet. It is still the basically opening volleys of this round as 29% on the board on the side of you guys get paid. Here comes the rocket barrage. He does go down to a Helix rocket. Shadowburn already picked up 2 off of that.
Yeah, very quick, decisive play. As soon as he saw McCree run indoors, he knew the opening was his space going for the suicide play. So it's going to be about 6 ultimates. Okay, sorry, not quite that. They'll have 4 big ults coming in for this next fight. Moffitt on his way to a Deadeye. So most of the key components here as, all right, Space actually respawning, does have the self-destruct, so 5, possibly 6. A lot of tools to work with for you guys get paid. And, well, they start things off with a freebie. They will take down 1 already.
All right, Beast Halo, though, getting that first kill onto Forsaken. That's pretty huge. It's all going to come down to Ruckus with this resurrection. If he finds the proper timing, it's looking a little awkward for him. I don't know if he wants to use it quite yet, as the Primal Rage does come out from Fact Fiction. He's trying to get these environmental kills, just throwing them all around. He does get cleaned up, that Orb of Discord, and there's the res coming out for them as Fact Fiction gets the kill onto Moffitt. Now they've got the man advantage as Fact Fiction once again in the back line, trying to go after Space there. Now Rena is actually going to fall to that Winston, and now Faze going to go ahead and secure this team fight, and they're going to continue to tick this board on up. It's at 50% and counting. A quick update, I did get some messages over Discord. So when Silk Thread was playing with you guys get paid, he was just filling in for Rena, and this is their actual complete full roster.
Okay, good to know. Well, Rena so far definitely a solid contributor to the team, but this next push going to be tougher for you guys get paid, as they couldn't take the last fight with basically all their ults, and now they'll have less to work with. Sweeping in from behind is Shadowburn, just looking for that pesky McCree. He unloads the rocket barrage indoors, finds one, not going to find the second, but Forsaken's the one to finish off Moffitt. The point still firmly in Phase control. They try to jump in the pit here. Space again into the abyss. Second time he's had to take that dive. They'll maybe touch the point, but we're going to have to see like a Tracer swap or something, because time a real problem now.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult as currently Faze playing point defense, making sure they're going to have a difficult time getting in. But Rena getting that Helix rocket is going to be huge for them as they are trying to contest right now. Sticky Bomb comes out on the side of Faze, though. That's Mikey A picking up 2 kills. This might just be it.
Self-destruct is there. Raucous chilling in the pit. Has the res almost if he needs it. He's going to jump right back out. So even if they manage to turn this fight around, they've still got to deal with the resurrect. Insta-pops it. Not going to risk giving this thing up for free. You guys get paid. Desperation mode now upon them. They find 1 pick off of Mikey A. Rena able to follow up with the Shadowburn kill. He won't have a resurrect any longer. They just might be able to recapture. Oh, it really felt like it was going to be Phases for the taking, but not turning out to be the case. Still battling it out. We'll be able to DMAX Zom. They can kill him off. Have yet to recap, though, so they still got a lot of work to do, even if they take it.
Yeah, Mikey A, though, that pesky Tracer is keeping this alive for Faze, but it looks like they're just going to go ahead and give it up now. 99% on the board, and it's going to be an uphill battle at this point. Raucous, he's going to be the difference maker with this Mercy. If he can get a great resurrection off, unfortunately, that last one didn't work out for them. After some heroics coming out on the side of you guys get paid, Beast Halo does have that Earth Shatter again, which he was able to connect onto about 3 members the last time he used it, but now he's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Doesn't have any real support there. Has to back off as we do have Fact Fiction jumping right on top of Moffitt right now. He's getting focused down, but here's the Earth Shatter. Here comes the self-destruct as 2 kills go in favor of you guys get paid. Rena with that tactical visor pushing forward, gets a second one. They're going to clean this up.
All right, a second time in a row in this best of 5 Ilios showdown that we've seen you guys get paid, have a rough start, battle back, now at 85% and pushing. Not going to let Raucous or Shadowburn moving freely. They've managed to isolate, pin down these two, but the point's almost recaptured. Trying to deal with the Fair Mercy, haven't quite finished them off. Mikey A, meanwhile, moving on to the point, looking for Beast Halo. There is a Deadeye to work with. Trying to find the opening, Shadowburn unloading, but he only gets Marina VX, not the best. They do have a res. They drop it now, rejoining the fight, the whole squad, but can they hold the point? Mr. Squishy's there with the Transcendence, keeping things in play, and Shadowburn is getting kills at the crucial moment. Faze, just a couple more, and they can recapture and take the map, or not the map, but the stage as the boop into the pit may spell doom. Tank out of the picture. Shadowburn dodging the D.Va self-destruct. Just has to deal with Rina. Can't even get back to the point. An uphill struggle, but Faze do close out that stage.
That was close. We almost had a C9 Volskaya situation there where the self-destruct was coming on out and everyone jumped off the point to stay alive, but they were able to actually get back on there to keep it alive. So now FaZe Clan looking to close out the series 2-0 against You Guys Get Paid.
All right, do we see any switch-ups with the match on the line? Rina over to the Widow again, but he was pretty quick to swap when it didn't work out initially, Jamerson, so definitely remains to be seen if he's going to stay on this. And Zom's back in his old stomping grounds from earlier on this map. He was a beast last time around on Ruins, and looking to reprise that role as he picks up his own Widow again.
What I'd really like to see out from the side of You Guys Get Paid is someone to go Roadhog to try and deal with Fact Fiction, who has continually been in the back lines there. But we're calling for a pause on the side of FaZe at this moment. So there we go. We're going to go ahead for a quick pause. But yeah, it's been Fact Fiction just creating a lot of space for both Shadowburn and Mikey A, just causing so much confusion that no one's really been able to try and focus them down. They're running that double hit scan, but they have a difficult time trying to deal with a barrier that's popped right on top of them. With the Roadhog there, they can deal with both the barrier coming up from Winston and also just the Winston able to one-shot him, but they haven't made that swap off quite yet.
So what would be, in your opinion, like the ideal adjustment at that point if you're struggling to deal with the barrier?
Go with the triple tank setup. Beast has been fine on this Reinhardt. Space is doing what he can. He's been having some key defense matrix against Shadowburn whenever he gets the barrage off. But I think they don't need both a McCree and a Soldier 76. They could probably just stick with the Soldier 76 and then possibly put Moffat onto that Roadhog to try and deal with the Winston.
Okay, well, let's see if they make those adjustments. Shadowburn perhaps having some internet issues, disconnecting from the game. So as we wait for him to reconnect, we can recap where we're at, guys. This is the final group out of North America and Europe. Just Group B remains. 4 more days after today. Round robin format. Top 4 will go to the playoffs, and they'll join the top 4 who already advanced from Group A. We go to a playoff bracket. That will all be taking place next week. Europe and then North America back-to-back. Tons of Overwatch action crammed in over the next 10 days or so. Shadowburn will rejoin the game. Looks to get back with his team. We get ready to unpause, but yeah, this Group A is still pretty wide open. Obviously, we all expect Rogue to win the group right now, but nothing is guaranteed. And even if they do, that only affects your seeding. Oh, Zoms, not like this. Again, finding the pick again.
Once again, with that opening frag, it is going to be Zoms. He's even got that pocket Mercy to work with. He's got the Discord Orb on him, though, so that's going to make him an easy target. Both Zoms and Ruckus going down now, and now Moffat just carrying the team on his back with that Tracer.
Moffat mopping up, looking for more. The tanks who are discorded, they become the real squishies. Mr. Squishy's name, perhaps a bit deceptive, it's his job to make the enemy feel that way. Now, Moffat flanking around, pulse bomb available. Doesn't have to worry about the Widow having a recon visor just yet, so he can play a little more confidently with his flank maneuvers. That Widow assumes high ground position. Zoms searching for pickoffs to try and open things up, but still Moffat poking, prodding. Eyes on Zoms, who really just hasn't gotten out on the map much at all since that initial pick. He has to play very far back, at least for the time being.
Yeah, we do have Fact Fiction jumping once again onto the back line, though, but Rina, with all the space in the world, gets the kill onto Shadowburn. And Fact Fiction, unfortunately, not focusing down the right target there. Raucus even going to go ahead and die. Forsaken getting a consolation kill onto Rina there at the end, but Zoms also goes down, so the timing, it might actually work out in favor of Faze here because of how closely they are holding to their spawn.
Yeah, Moffat doing some good work with the pulse bomb available, and he finds the Mercy, tracks her down. Great pick on Raucous to open up this fight, who probably would have gotten a res off otherwise had she had a chance to charge the ult a bit longer. Now Beast Halo push up. They lose Moffat, but they still have position outside the point and should be able to get the Tracer back in time. Most likely. Well, Zoms committing the recon visor, but going down immediately, so won't really get to use it whatsoever.
So here's Shadowburn opening up. He gets 2 kills before Mr. Squishy takes him on down. Fact Fiction in the backline with that Winston going after Mr. Squishy. He's going to go ahead and use that Primal Rage, but he's got that Orb of Discord on him, and he's about to fall very soon as Mikey A does get that kill onto space, but Fact Fiction getting healed right back on up, and it's gonna be that pulse bomb not quite connecting, and there we go, the second one actually landing on that Winston barrier as Mikey A finds a second kill, taking out Beast Halo. It looks like Faze finally able to strike back, but 99% on the board. They're gonna take it in overtime.
They have quite a bit of work to do to pull this map back, but we've seen it in this series. Both teams fully capable of coming back from the abyss as well as diving into it. So time will tell which kind of approach it's going to be. You guys get paid, marching back towards the point. Mr. Squishy still has that Transcendence. I don't know if he's died this stage. I feel like he's been around forever, but we'll see if the Transcendence opening is there. He is going to unleash it fairly early in the fight, trying to gain the upper hand with a quick pick. So far, nothing doing. Still eyes on Zombs, looking for the headshots, looking for the pickoffs. Shadowburn able to get away with a pretty aggressive rocket barrage. Will find Mr. Squishy post-Transcendence, kills him off, and now the chase forward onto the point. Shadowburn largely unchecked with the removal of the Widow from the enemy squad.
Yeah, you got that 2-for-1 value meal there with that damage-boosted rocket cleaning up both the Winston and the Tracer. And now, excuse me, Winston and the Reinhardt. So now 50% on the board. They still have to defend for at least 2 team fights here. And one of the big key deals was that Mr. Squishy got taken out of the fight relatively early on. His Orb of Discords have been really good, and the Focus Fire coming out on the side of you guys get paid. The follow-up was fantastic, but now they are pushing forward. Ultimate advantage in favor of Faze as they push forward with that Primal Rage. Fact Fiction finds the second one before he finally goes down to Moffat, but in the back, it's Shadowburn and Mikey A cleaning up.
All right, clock's ticking down. Faze, after a rough start to the day in the group, closing in on their first group stage victory. We'll put them at 1-1 and make this group be extremely interesting. Heading towards some of the later days, Zombs finding the headshots, brings down Rena. They're going to trickle in at best. Positioning really going to be tough for you guys to get paid. They'll have one desperation push onto the point. Moffat, probably the guy's going to have to touch it, but there to greet him is Factor Fiction. No easy contest for you, sir, says the monkey. Already only 40 HP, has to recall his way out of this fight. Will be a much more killable target. As Zom still standing back, looking for the headshot, won't connect there, and now has to juke away for this Tracer, but gets back up to the high ground, up to safety, being pocketed at least for now. Moffat, last man standing, or so it appears. They even get the res off for good measure. Space will fall. Psycho Waffle dropping in, but he drops into 6, and with that, Faze gonna take the map and the series.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they just never dealt with Fact Fiction on that Winston. They thought Mr. Squishy with the Orb of Discords on the Zenyatta was going to be enough, but we saw him staying live long enough. He was taking 2 3v1 fights and still coming up ahead with 2 frags there. And unfortunately, it's going to be you guys get paid dropping this map, and that's their first loss. I mean, this is still a round robin. They have 4 more matches to try and bring it back.
Some big environmental kills there from the side of Faze, and well, in the end, Jamerson Faze stabilized as far as the group standings go, so they're going to be 1-1 now. Looking at the other match they have to play, they still have 3 opponents. They have to play Tempo Storm, they have to play Team Liquid, who we've yet to see, and of course the favorites coming in. They will also have to play Rogue, so still after day 1, any of these teams in the running, nobody with that 0-2 start, which can really put you in a big hole. So I think that's good news for storylines heading towards the later days of the group.
I mean, already with Faze dropping to LG Loyal, and then LG Loyal losing their match against Tempo Storm NA, essentially this group is basically wide open at this point. I mean, we saw throughout EU Group 1 and 2, and along with NA Group A, it was just largely wide open for any team to make it into the top 4, and it's the exact same case here.
All right. Any closing thoughts here before we wrap up the broadcast?
No, I had a fun day. I will be back tomorrow, I believe, with Storm. It's going to be the same time, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I don't know how that actually translates on over to EU or any other time zones because I'm not that good with them. But yeah, tune into that.
Yeah, so for those of you in Western Europe, add 9 hours or 8 if you're in England. East Coast, of course, add 3. So, guys, thanks for joining us. That's going to wrap up today's Overwatch PIT North America Group B action, opening day of games in the bag. After it's all said and done, we have a dead heat here in the group stage. 4 more days of groups and then on to the playoffs. We'll see you next time for that. I'm LD. He's Jamerson. Be sure to follow him on Twitter at JetsaJamerson. And with that, we'll be back next time. See you tomorrow.